Hello, everyone. Danielle from Learn Reiki Philadelphia here. Good morning. I hope you're doing well. And if you are new here, welcome in. If you're returning, welcome back. And if you're watching on the replay, you're going to have just as fun and healing a time as if you were here live. If you would like to join me live, go ahead and click that description box below. All of the regular days and times that I stream here on YouTube 5 days a week are all listed there. You can also check out in the description links to my online live Reiki certification classes, community, Discord, social media, and crystal shop. If you are here live, go ahead and click that live chat button. Make any requests that you have for your personal healing, whether it's general or specific, and I will pick some crystals for the crystal grid in support of you. And we'll do all of that and build a beautiful crystal grid before we dive into some incredible healing over a beautiful background of lovely music. But before we dive into all of that, let's say hi to those of you in the chat. Before we dive into the healing, I'll absolutely explain what Reiki is, how it works for those who are new here. And for those of you who are watching this in the future, if you would like to hang out and listen and learn about crystals, awesome. If you want to just skip ahead to the healing, also awesome. Go ahead and just slide the timer over to approximately the 1 hour mark, or where you see the lights begin to shift downward, and you'll be able to just simply relax and coast off to some Reiki vibes. So let's go ahead, say hi to everyone that's here, and start building that grid. Awesome. So who do we have? Cool. Welcome in, Cora Card. So good to see you. And Chris, good to see you too. Super great to see you. Awesome. Let's put some things together. I've got, here, let me turn this on for us. There we go. Wonderful. We've got some crystals to start us out. These have been some crystals we've been working with for quite a bit, so definitely familiar for both of you. We've got peridot to help us to break up some cycles that are limiting our potential, keeping us stuck. It also helps with reaffirming great friendships that help to support these more positive cycles in our lives. We've got blue lace agate, which makes it much more easy to communicate things that are really sensitive, whether it's sensitive for us to express or sensitive for someone else to hear about, or both. A lot of times they're both. It's also great for anything having to do with the throat. So if you have a sore throat or anything, this can be really helpful. We've got citrine for manifesting financial abundance, as well as balancing logic and intuition. Moss agate, which on a physical level is thought to help balance the body, help it to fight off any illnesses, whether it's fungal, bacterial, or viral. In Chinese medicine, it's linked to the concept of wind, which is what spreads illness through the body. On a spiritual level, this can be a stone to work with if you want to connect with your spirit guides and helpers. If you want to feel more connected to nature, which especially those of us in the Northern Hemisphere this time of year, it's a little hard to feel connected to nature. Everything is so freezing cold for so many of us. Also, any type of inner child work or connection with higher self, as well as connection to spirit and unconditional love. And copper, as per usual, this helps to break up blockages, get the energy flowing. And last but not least, we have jade. Jade is sacred to so many people, from China to Central and South America's indigenous people. This is a stone of good fortune on every level, from relationships to family to work and career to finances, all the thing. It's a beautiful blessing of all different aspects of life, and especially that we're still in the energy of the Lunar New Year. It's especially poignant and welcome today. So let's go ahead and take a peek at everyone's requests and start building. Welcome in those who are new. Welcome in, Jor. And let's see, we've got Chris. Yeah, the kittens are hanging out. I've got one kitten in the window looking out. Dizziness and high blood pressure, definitely. Hey, Vincent, good to see you. Financial abundance and meeting soulmate, absolutely. current spiritual studies, getting along with teachers and fellow students, success in channeling, projecting and connecting with spiritual and physical. I love it. Dizzy without any reason, no stress or anything. You don't know what's going on. Yeah, I can help with that. Let's see what we got. Lapis can help with dizziness to a point, but there's definitely some other ones here that I want to bring in. Okay, yeah, we'll bring in some Unakite too. Lapis definitely helps with things like dizziness, vertigo, things like that. Also helps with pain and inflammation, as well as connecting with deep honesty and integrity. As my friend Janie would say, the talk to do ratio. This is how we embody that, and also connecting with other people who find that a priority. So saying what they do, doing what they say, honest, open communication, a really good foundation for successful connections in work, in business, and even in private life too. Also really helpful with taking personal responsibility for things. So we'll bring in some lapis. We'll also bring in that Unakite. That's connected with everything that has to do with women's health, from hormones to the movement of fluids through the body, which are very connected to one another. This is also very linked with the heart, circulation, and fluids in the body, so it would definitely impact what you're describing. Also helpful for quitting smoking and for improving metabolism, especially if the metabolism issues are connected with hormones. So I will bring that in for you. And I'm going to keep my eyes out. I might add some other things later too. Hey, Key. Is it Key, Patty, or both of you? I feel like it's Patty. Let's see. We need some spiritual stones. The moss agate is going to help. I definitely see some other good ideas too. For Korakar, I want to bring in some Prehnite for you. This can help facilitate spiritual teaching and spiritual learning. And it looks like, let's see. Yeah, we've got the camera cooking. Okay. So we've got Prehnite helps with, like I said, teaching and learning, especially spiritual pursuits. This is one that helps us to quiet the mind when we're meditating or doing any kind of spirit work that involves focus. It can also help with being an enhancer of connection for things like prophecy and divination and like seeing and scrying, as well as really like lucid dreaming and even journeying. If you look it up in more modern books, it talks a lot about lucid dreaming, and for quite a while recently, lucid dreaming was a big kind of keyword in a sense. A lot of people were looking for things that specifically helped with that, but things like shamanic journeying and things, they very much overlap. So I would suggest this for any kind of spiritual learning or teaching. I keep a lot of it behind me because I teach a lot of Reiki here, and I find it really helpful. It also helps with refusing unfair demands on sort of an unrelated note, so it can be really helpful for other things like that. As far as other spiritual stuff, let's see. Boop, boop, boop. Let's bring in some sapphire. This very much helps with things like mediumship and channeling, connecting us with the spiritual messages and the connections in the spirit realm, and also being able to verbalize them to someone else. This is a stone I very much bring out when I'm reading tarot cards for folks, and I'm going to start recording today the tarot for all 12 signs for next month. And so this is a stone that I usually keep just off camera, and that I find it really helpful for helping take what I'm getting from spirit, not only to connect and get the message, but to articulate it. And chevron amethyst is excellent for all of the above here. So chevron amethyst, a little different from regular amethyst. It still has all of the qualities of amethyst, but here you can see there's some, it's a little hard to see on camera. You can see mostly with this one at the end. Chevrons are the pattern of sort of like V's over and over again. Chevron amethyst is thought to really help connect us with spirit as far as connection in psychic channels, shamanic journeying, any kind of visionary connection with our spirit guides and helpers. It helps us not only to connect and sort of share what our requests are or what our question is, but also to open up and receive those messages, that kind of up and down. Additionally, these are carved into a double terminated quartz point. So these are man-made carvings. These didn't form this way. Like, for example, Herkimer diamond, which one of you have probably requested, so it'll be here soon. Herkimer, these are naturally in these double terminated formations. These are man-made cuts. So that denotes the intention, not necessarily the spiritual nature, but it's like having that double terminated usually means sending the energy in both directions. Can be great for internal balance, can also be great for setting an intention of sending energy up and being open to receive. So like spiritual communication. And for that, we'll just bring in that chevron amethyst. I like it for manifesting too, because I see manifesting not as a dang it universe, give me what I want, but more like a this is what I want and need. I don't know exactly how that's going to look to be the best version of that. And then being open to receive guidance about it. Like shift that a little bit to the left. Are you sure you want that? Or are you sure you don't want something a little better? Whatever it might be. And also to help make it a little bit more of a spiritual connection in what we're asking for. And to that end, I'll bring in Herkimer too. I find that these two stones work really well together. So Herkimer diamond we use here quite a bit, and it is more of a spiritually aligned and collaborative effort in manifesting. It's not just dang it universe, give me the thing. It's more like I want the version of what I'm asking for that is in the greatest alignment with community and me and everyone and everything that it touches. It's a deeply spiritual stone. It does help with connection to the divine. It also helps with metabolism, balancing energies that just feel like they don't quite go together. And as a lot of folks are finding new job environments, some folks are going back to being in person, some folks are working on different projects. There's been a lot of shakeups in the work world. This can help to balance those energies that don't quite jive. It's also great for being in the moment, which if you're asking the universe for anything in manifesting, being in the present moment is so important. So we'll bring this in. So there is some Herkimer there. We've also got, hey, welcome in, Danielle. Oh, absolutely. Let's see. I'm also going to bring in blue kyanite. Danielle requested some healing for seizures. Of course, I'm not of the do only the things that I call natural and leave everything else at the door. I don't think we need to discount. In order to embrace the things that science doesn't understand, we don't need to cast aside all the things that science does understand. Use all the things at your disposal. I use medications. I have no problem admitting it. I have no problem using it. I also use Reiki and meditation and crystals, and I do some stretching and. So yeah, crystals are of course not a replacement for anything, but they can certainly help. And so when it comes to things like seizures or any kind of neurological care, which we also had a request today for help with, this has been an ongoing thing here, and you're always welcome to come back, Danielle. We're a fun group here. We're super friendly. If you need support around, someone's been requesting support around recovery from a stroke. So this is blue kyanite. This is very much linked with neurological care. So anything from seizure to, especially with stroke and brain injury, if it's impacting the ability to speak or the mobility, this is thought to be a really helpful stone. And in support, oh, absolutely, Danielle. And in support of also Korakar, this is a great stone of understanding spiritual guidance. So whether you're having dreams you don't quite understand, or you're reading tarot and you're like, I'm getting it, and I don't get it. This is a great stone to understand the spiritual guidance you're getting. So I hope that this is helpful for everyone. Blue kyanite is a wonderful stone. It's also great for loving yourself exactly as you are. We also have Amazonite, which can help with a lot of the nerves too in the body. This has to do often with the spine and spinal nerves. Amazonite can come in dark greens with white stripes, or this sort of lighter blue-green, and anywhere in between. Amazonite helps with caregivers and some self-respect and seeing yourself as absolutely needing and deserving the same high caliber self-care as you would give someone else, the same as the high quality care you would give someone else. This is also just great. It's considered a very lucky stone and a very calming stone as well, but very much linked with the spine and the spinal nerves. And this is very much one we've been using for everything from sciatica to spinal stenosis to just back pain in general. I have a lot of lower body nerve issues, which cause me to walk with arm crutches, and this is one of the stones that I work with. And I mean, the overlap of self-care, it's like it reminds me how important that is. You're so welcome. I'm so glad everybody's here. Let's see what else we have. We have a whole list of ones too. Also, finding a soulmate, and we have two for that. One is carnelian, which has already been requested. Carnelian absolutely helps with finding our spiritually aligned relationships, if you want to call it soulmate, or any other term that you like to use for that relationship, or a big good relationship. This also helps relationships in general. So it can be families, coworkers, colleagues, your neighbors, whatever it might be. Carnelian helps with the sacral chakra, how we relate to the world around us. It's that African proverb of, you want to go fast, go alone, which is solar plexus chakra. You want to go far, go together. That's sacral. That's people working together. Anytime people work together, they tend to do a little bit better. And so we have this sacral stone. It's also great for sexual function and dysfunction. It's linked with fertility and infertility, but very much aligned with calling in, very much in alignment with calling in a spiritually significant soulmate or soul partner. Okay, there we go. And Moonstone. Moonstone is connected with, think of it as like the high priestess in the tarot deck. So ancient wisdom, spiritual guidance, secrets, things that are unseen or without understanding or that transcend basic understanding. This is also connection with the cycles and rhythms of the earth as the moon controls the tides, with protection from or protection during times of travel. It's thought to be very protective of travelers. It's connected with the divine feminine, as well as intuition, releasing patterns, very much with connecting with a spiritually significant relationship. So if you're looking for that soulmate, this is a great stone. It's also great for everything that Cora Carr requested and any kind of moon magic. And we did just have a really big new moon the other day. So bring in some Moonstone. Financial abundance we have in the citrine that's here, but I'm also going to bring in some other ones. Let's see. Okay, so there's lots of Moonstone. Okay. We've got rose quartz, lapis carnelian, labradorite, black obsidian. Clear quartz, amethyst, rose quartz. Here we go. And for Chris, Herkimer, hematite. So let's do the hematite. And if you're just coming in, feel free to make any requests, general or specific. I'm happy to pull some stones for you. You can request specific stones or have me pick them for you, or both. Kundalini Awakening, we have the aragonite with blue Caribbean calcite, rutilated, carnelian. Looks like we're all on the same wavelength this morning. Peridot we've got already. Iolite we'll grab. Yeah, let's start there. Okay. Rutilated we'll choose for a couple of reasons. This is a stone that helps with the mind-body connection, and it also helps with focus. So focusing the mind, but even more importantly, this is one that's been long thought to help focus any kind of healing work exactly where it needs to go, whether it's modern approaches or ancient ones. This is really thought to kind of send them where they are most needed. It also is very energizing, especially if you're looking to keep from getting sick or getting sort of your energy stores back after having been ill. So yeah, rutilated quartz also in support of Cora Carr's stepfather with colon cancer. There's a lot of intentionality behind working with this for that. Okay, so that's a rutilated quartz. We have clear quartz, which is an amplifier stone. It's almost like a blank slate. You can take clear quartz and put any intentions on it that you may have. So if you want to boost the intention of another crystal, if you have an intention and you don't have a crystal to go with it, you can use clear quartz. You can also use it to stand in for a crystal that you don't have. So we'll bring that in. We also have rose quartz. This allows us to more easily leave old patterns and unfulfilling things in our lives behind because it's very consistently loving. It allows us to feel this consistent, unconditional love that makes it a lot easier to let go of things. When you know you have something like this and you can just make room for it, makes it a lot easier to say, I don't feel like I like this. I'm going to let it go and bring more of this into your heart. It's sort of like how it's easier to leave a job when you have another one lined up. It's very similar in concept to that. And standard amethyst, this has a lot of properties that connect to spirituality, especially if it's a new spirituality or your first idea of approaching spirituality at all. It definitely helps with personal responsibility and also not being overly responsible for others, those kinds of healthy boundaries. It's one that can help us to do any kind of self-improvement with a little bit of a lighter heart, less about blaming ourselves and shaming ourselves, and more about, I know better now and I'll do better now. So we'll bring this in. And where do we want to place it? I think we will place it here. Let's do that. Fantastic. Labradorite helps with better sleep, and it helps with connecting intuitively. It helps with clairvoyance, which is being able to see in an intuitive sense. It's also great for workplace harmony and research and study. This is one that allows you to find errors and get very detailed insights as you look at a lot of data. So we'll bring this in. You here, and actually let's put you here because amethyst is also helpful for better sleep. Iolite is one that can be supportive of, we have a blessing. We have a kitty blessing. Kitty blessings. Hey, Bubba. What you doing? Perfect. Yeah. How you feeling about that grid? Just plop yourself down in front of it. So iolite is helpful for anything that has to do with intuition, as well as just rolling on it, just loving it. Oh my goodness, I love it. As well as anything that has to do with psychic sleep disturbances. It's very much connected with shamanic work and any kind of spiritual work, so definitely helpful for Cora Carr's request, as well as anyone who's looking to manage and handle their money better. Iolite can be helpful. She is a cutie. Oh, you're just going to be right there. Hey, hi. You want to come over here? Get some love on my lap? Let us build a grid? No? No? Okay. Well, we'll keep going for now. We'll see where we get. Aragonite with Caribbean blue calcite. So aragonite is fantastic for physical healing, as well as earth and soul star chakras. It's earth and soul star. So the blue is connected with the soul star, which is above the crown. So this is collective consciousness, as well as our spiritually significant way forward. Oop, yep, we're getting up for a stretch. Yeah. Okay. The aragonite, which is the brown that is in here, helps with the root and the earth star, which is enacting our spiritual purpose. So because it balances both sides of the chakra system and the energy field, it allows the energies within and between to move a little bit more freely. So that aids with things like Kundalini rising. So we've got this. Hey, bub. Let's do that here, actually. Nope, we'll do this here. Hey, bub, you want to come over? Want to come over here? How about my lap? Oh. Say hi. Yeah, that's Gertie. Yeah, thank you, Gertie. You can hang out here. I'll give you pets. There we go. You're like, nah. Nah. Cool. playing with polychrome, Jasper. Nice. Okay. Got cat blessings. That's awesome. Love it. Okay. Light. We have hematite, which is very, very grounding and helps to gently clear the energy within our bodies, connecting it to the earth, allowing us to more efficiently release energy that no longer serves, especially on the physical level. If you've recently been sick and you kind of need that energy back, this is another stone you can work with. It's been linked with the blood throughout history, because it's got a high iron content. So if you were to like crack these open, you would probably see a lot of red. But yeah, very heavy. So connecting with the earth, anytime that you feel like you're just sort of floating and you can't grasp the ground underneath you, this can be a really helpful stone. Very, very grounding. Yeah, what you saying? Ah, she's a happy girl. Black obsidian is highly protective, excellent for helping process grief to some extent, as well as anything that's super traumatic. This is a stone that helps you to be in that present moment and move with the change a little bit. This is also great for nervous pets. So black obsidian, processing a lot of grief and a lot of shocking information. The other crystal for finding your soulmate, I did Moonstone and Carnelian. Both can be really helpful. And we've got... Cora Carr had some good requests. Oh, we got all your requests. Oh, good stuff. Let's go ahead and do some more for connecting with abundance. Let's bring in some pyrite. The concept of fool's gold helps bring in the real gold. This is also really helpful for the memory, as well as just brain function in general. It can be very protective and help us connect to intuition at the same time. So that can almost be a mixed message, like, hey, I don't want certain things, but I do want certain other things. This is a stone that helps, especially people who are new at doing any kind of intuitive arts. This can really help with that sort of two-pronged intention for, yes, I'm open and I'm closed in these regards, but it's also really helpful for folks who are spiritual adepts. This is also one that can be very helpful during Reiki. It's thought to help promote the movement of that energy within the body. So pyrite. Awesome. Cool. We might dive into the healing just a little bit early. I'm going to definitely do that thing where I pick a couple of stones that I think could be really, really helpful. And you all are going to get to vote on them, which ones actually show up in the grid. For those of you who are new, hint, hint, you're not limited to just one vote. So let me pick a couple of stones that I think are going to really take the intentions that you all have and bring them all together in a really beautiful way. If you do have any other requests, feel free to go ahead and make them. And then we will quickly explain what Reiki is and dive into the healing. So give me a moment to poke around and chat amongst yourselves. If you haven't already, please consider liking the stream. Oh, both? Really? Already? Huh. You don't say. That never happens. Hee hee. Yeah, absolutely. Stones that you haven't already asked for. Gotcha. We'll definitely bring in some jet. This helps with processing grief while also being present with it, but not overwhelmed by it, and can call in lost or misplaced pets and animals. So let's bring that in here. We'll bring in some emerald. Emerald helps with restoring confidence as well as passion for life and work, passion for life in general. It's also fantastic for healing skin and tissue. Yeah, right. Imagine if we said all this and said, hey, y'all have to learn to work together. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Awesome. Yeah, sometimes emerald just jumps out. And sometimes it's amazing when we are all kind of on the same wavelength, like we see here all the time. We kind of get this sense of what's coming next, and everybody requests the same thing. Like, I didn't even read the specific stones requested by you, Cora Carr, or Chris, and yet I picked the exact same stones. It was just meant to be. Let's see. Currently, Gertie, the cat that just graced our grid, is laying on her back with all four paws in different directions, just rolling around with her stomach out. So you're so funny. You're so funny and trusting. What is the perfect choice? I know what it is. Okay. So first is Malachite. Malachite is fantastic, and it has a reputation for being a really tough stone to work with. It's not tough to work with. It helps us get through tough things. Malachite is one of those stones that helps us do some deep soul searching and work on our heart center. When it comes to the things that we're holding on to that are holding us back because we're emotionally invested in them, but are no longer in our highest good or best interest, Malachite is a stone that helps us move through that. So it's not the easiest stone to work with in that capacity. But yeah, it's a beautiful stone nonetheless, and it does help us make some changes in our lives, including the ones that might be a little bit more challenging. So that's Malachite. The next is green Aventurine. This helps with learning, but it also helps with seeing the highest possible version of ourselves, especially when we sell ourselves short, when we feel like we're less than, when we've kind of internalized that we are less than, or there are things that we cannot do, and then we end up taking other people's projections and holding ourselves back by them. Aventurine is like a heart healing and helps us to see that we can do more than we've thought possible. So go ahead and take a moment to think about those, see if either one really resonates with you. go ahead and vote in the chat. You're not limited to just one vote. Hint. Yeah, it would be great if we could unite like that alone. Absolutely. Go ahead and vote in the chat. While you're doing that, if you haven't already liked the stream, please go ahead and do so. And when I'm done explaining what Reiki is and we come back, I'll add the crystals chosen to the grid. So as I mentioned at the top of the stream, my name is Danielle Stimpson. I'm the owner of Learn Reiki Philadelphia, and I've been teaching Reiki for a little over 14 years now. You can learn more about my live online Reiki certification courses in the description box below. You can also see regular days and times for this stream if you want to join us live if you're not here already, as well as links to my community Discord, crystal shop, and social media. So the style of Reiki that I work with is known as Usui Reiki, and this is the most common style that you're likely to see in the West in general, whether it's US, Australia, or Europe. And it's named after this particular method's founder, Mikao Usui, and he created this style in early 1920s Japan to really support people in Japan at that time, which was a very difficult time in their history. It needed to be secular because you were not allowed to teach religion unless it was Shintoism. And it needed to be something that at the same time supported people who already had a cultural awareness and working with this energy to kind of deepen that connection. And so this style was born out of the many different spiritual pursuits, practices, and studies that Mikao Usui had. In particular, this method, if we want to discuss like what is the concept of energy, well, the concept of energy, the very foundation of this method, is the same one that we do see in Shintoism, which is the indigenous spirituality of Japan, in which everything has a soul, everything is interconnected. So, and that's everything: the nature, the people, the plants, the animals, the earth itself. And within this interconnectedness, there are other forces at play, one of which is this spiritually guided support for healing, wellness, and well-being on every level. And that's roughly what Reiki translates to, is spiritually guided soul or life healing. You already have this energy running through you right now. It's something your body, mind, and spirit are not only familiar with, but working with all the time, even if we don't culturally acknowledge this. Essentially, what I'll be doing today is connecting to this energy and directing more of it to you. Your body, mind, and spirit already work with this energy all the time and know how to use it. So essentially, it's like I'm giving your body, mind, and spirit more to work with for your higher good, and it'll be used accordingly. You can set intentions around it, or just have an open mind and heart and see where it goes, or a little bit of both. Totally fine. Much like we don't normally think about how we're mostly made of water, but yet we are. We don't even have to think about what our body is doing with that water to best use it to keep us alive and thriving. And in a lot of ways, we can't change how our body is using that water. It just sort of knows how to do it, even though we don't think about the fact that water is so integral to our very life and being sustained. Very similar with Reiki energy. It helps support balance and well-being on all these levels, but our body, mind, and spirit automatically know how to use it. Even if we don't think along those lines, it's still happening. So as I connect with this energy and send more of it to you, you may feel sensations physically in your body. Some emotions may shift or come up or be released. You may notice a more of a mental space to sort some things out, or have your subconscious kind of speak to you, something that's been ruminating in the back so you can finally hear yourself a little bit, or get a little bit of a spiritual connection, getting some intuition, some divine guidance, some beautiful ideas from above, if you want to call it that. Whatever the case may be, you're going to have a beautiful session. It will probably be some kind of combination thereof. You may fall asleep and have a really great nap. That's amazing. You don't have to keep yourself awake. And for what it's worth, you don't have to do anything. Just support yourself to be as physically comfortable as you possibly can. Sitting up, laying down, you can stretch, you can move, you can bend, whatever feels right to you in this time. I'll be connected with this energy, sending it to you. Your body, mind, and spirit will know how to use it. All you need to do is just exist. You don't need to focus on anything. You don't need to keep a silent mind, though you can if you want to do either of those things. I will send you Reiki for 25 minutes. And at the end of the session, you'll hear my voice welcome you to take a deep breath, come back to the space that you're in, and I'll reopen the chat for any questions or anything that you want to share. During that time, I will turn the lights down. You'll notice them moving slowly and evenly through several different colors. They will not flash or strobe. And I will turn the music up. If you want to learn more about our musical creator, her information is at the bottom of the description below. She has her own amazing YouTube channel if you want to listen to her music throughout the day. So yes, thank you so much for being here. It's an honor and a privilege to be able to share this energy healing with you today and every other day that you're here. And remember, for those of you farther away or those of you who are watching this on the replay, you're going to have just as fun and healing a time, because just as this energy flows through everyone and everything everywhere, it's not sort of trapped into an understanding of space or time. So it doesn't matter where you are in terms of miles or kilometers from me, and it also doesn't matter when you're watching this. As long as your intention is to be open to receive this energy, it's available to you, regardless of when you happen to be finding this. So if you're watching them in the future, hello from the past. And for those of you who are here live, you can always stream one of our past live healings and experience healing anytime you need it, whether or not I am live. There's a past live stream playlist for you to enjoy, and I'm so grateful to have had you here. So again, my website is learnreikiphiladelphia.com. All of those links are in the description. Let's dive into the healing. Oh, look, both. And also a reminder to like, share, subscribe, and all that good YouTuber stuff. So yeah, both stones. So we're going to take this beautiful piece of raw malachite, put that right in the center. Oh, that looks so nice. And this aventurine, we're going to put a whole bunch around. Tumbled green aventurine looks like this. I'm going to put some other ones right here and here. And tumbled malachite, you may recognize a little bit more. Looks like this. And for the sake of today, I'm going to put some more of these around too. There we go. And a little bit more. Oh, that feels really nice. All of that beautiful heart-centered energy reminding us that we can let go of what doesn't serve and embrace a much more bright version of our future and our potential than we maybe thought we had before today. So thank you again for being here. It really is an honor and a privilege to share this space with you. During the session, enjoy your time and space wherever you happen to be. If you want to journal or do some stretches, you can. But most importantly, if you want to relax, that's great. Close your eyes, get cozy, and just let the Reiki flow. And if you find that you're falling asleep, awesome. Sometimes that's exactly what we need. So I'm going to go ahead and begin the healing, and I will see you all in 25 minutes. invite you now to take a deep breath in and out. Slowly start to come back to your body. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Thank you so much for being here. If you have any questions, I invite you to use the chat. And I'll be here tomorrow, Wednesday at 4 p.m. as usual. And as always, Fridays at 4 and 8 p.m. and Sundays at 8 p.m. Thank you, Vincent, and you're very welcome. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome, Key and Patty. Hattie is currently staring out the window at some birdies. I had to get up in the middle of the session to open the blinds for her. Okay. It is the 24th of January. Oh, you're welcome, Jor. I'm so glad you were here. Feel free to come back anytime. All the best to you. And of course, it's getting close to the end of the month. If you are looking to join a Reiki 1 or 2 class, that begins in February. They are enrolling now at learnreikiphiladelphia.com. And if you place a deposit before the end of the month, you get 2022 pricing. So that would be $225 for Reiki 1 and $225 for Reiki 2. Hey, it's good to see you, Grace. Awesome, lots of love to everybody. I hope you all have a beautiful day. Those of you who are here on the East Coast, tomorrow, Wednesday, we're expecting some weather. Luckily around Philly, it's looking like not very much of anything bad. Other places can't really say the same for, but we'll be here at 4 p.m. So cozy up, get a hot cup of tea or whatever feels right to you, and join us and warm up from the inside out. So thanks again for being here, everyone. It's an honor and a pleasure to share this healing with you. If you do have any questions, feel free to go ahead and leave a comment or reach out to me through my website. I'm happy to help you with it. And I'm going to go ahead and end the stream here with a heart full of gratitude for every single one of you. And I do hope to see you again soon. So do take care of yourselves, and bye for now.